We're getting these figures from eThekwini, but we know this is happening around the country. It is extremely worrying and it is extremely scary. Technically, it is rape. It is statutory rape because we're looking at the concern here being older men who are targeting young girls. They're targeting children. Clarify for us the rules around or the laws around abortion when it comes to girls as young as 10.
So thank you, Rebecca, for having me. And this is something that I'm glad we're talking about it because it is it requires much urgency. When it comes to any woman, so when it comes to the laws of abortion, any woman, regardless of age, is actually entitled to make a decision to have a termination of pregnancy. But having said that, we understand that below the ages of 18 and even more so below the ages of 16, whether we're looking at the mental capacity of the girl that is pregnant, the situation or the background of how that pregnancy occurred. You mentioned something about statutory rape. So those other things come into play where it then is important for a young girl to be assisted by their guardian, by their parent in exercising that consent. Part of it has to do with whether or not they will need either a medical or a surgical termination of pregnancy. Secondly, for their own mental well-being, I won't even go into details about the financials of, if you're looking at either private or public sector in terms of where you are going for that termination of pregnancy. But also the emotional aspect of it is really important. It also gives us a really good idea that we're probably not having these conversations enough, both between the guardians and the young girls. Young girls are starting periods at a much earlier stage, which means they are in sort of like that space where they could fall pregnant. Sometimes even if it is consensual, but who is to say that a 10-year-old has the capacity to make that kind of decision? So without even just going onto the abortion laws, go back to what conversations are we having? What are the circumstances around it? This requires a lot of guardianship and adult conversations to be involved in this.